I'm standing outside the spa, absolutely drenched, and Harper grabs my face with both hands and kisses me like she's been drowning and I'm air. Which would be great, except she's dating Sandra, my best friend Sandra. The same Sandra who's inside doing drunk karaoke right now. Yeah, that happened. Hold on. Before we go on, comment where you're watching from and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you won't miss what is coming next. I'm Lena. I'm 24, and I genuinely thought I was good at keeping secrets until this whole thing blew up in my face. Hear me out. Sandra and I have been best friends since freshman year. First day of orientation, she had half her hair dyed electric blue and immediately decided the campus tour was boring. We ditched to get iced coffee instead, and that was it. We were inseparable. She's loud, chaotic, always the center of attention. I'm the opposite. I work night shifts doing sound engineering. I'm quiet. I fix people's playlists. I don't start drama. That's probably why she trusted me so much. Then Harper showed up. Sandra brought her to our Thursday movie night last spring. I remember Harper walked in wearing this oversized cardigan, hair in the messy bun, glasses sliding down her nose. Really soft-spoken, the kind of person you have to lean in to hear. Sandra was obsessed immediately. They were official within like 2 weeks. And honestly, I liked Harper. She was easy to talk to, funny in this dry, deadpan way. We bonded over music and our shared hatred for olives. Normal friend stuff. Until it wasn't. It started so small, I almost didn't notice. Harper would text me separately from the group chat at like 2 a.m. What are you listening to right now? I'd send her songs, she'd send back these voice notes. Her voice all low and sleepy, saying stuff like, "This one feels like driving at night with the windows down." I saved every single one. Then the in-person stuff started. When the three of us would hang out, Harper would sit next to me instead of Sandra. Our knees would touch and neither of us would move. Sandra never noticed. She talks nonstop and loves being the center of everything. But I noticed the way Harper's fingers would brush mine when she passed the popcorn. The way she'd look at me just a second too long when Sandra wasn't paying attention. I told myself I was imagining it because hoping was too dangerous. Then Sandra went to Chicago for a work trip, 4 days. She asked me to keep Harper company while she was gone, and I said sure, acting totally normal while my heart was doing backflips. Day 1, we got tipsy on cheap wine and watched Studio Ghibli movies. Harper fell asleep with her head on my shoulder, and I just sat there for 2 hours, not moving, trying not to breathe too loud, just smelling her shampoo like a complete weirdo. Day 2, we went record shopping. She picked up this old Fleetwood Mac vinyl, looked right at me, and said, "This song always makes me think of unspoken things." I almost dropped the entire crate. Day 3, it rained all day, so we stayed in. Made grilled cheese, played Mario Kart. She destroyed me every race and did this little victory dance that made my chest physically hurt. Around 1 a.m., we were out on the balcony smoking. Sandra hates the smell, so we only did it when she was gone. The city was quiet, just rain and distant sirens. Harper passed me the joint and said, really quietly, "Lena, do you ever feel like you're living the wrong life?" I laughed nervously. "All the time." She stared out at the rain. "I love Sandra. I do. She's like sunlight, but sometimes being around her feels like I'm burning." My heart was pounding so hard, I thought she could probably hear it. She kept going. "And then there's you. You're quiet, steady. You make me feel like I can stop performing." I couldn't speak. She turned to look at me, eyes all glassy. She said, "I think I have feelings for you, and I hate myself for it." The whole world tilted. I whispered, "You do?" She laughed, but it sounded like crying. "I've been trying to ignore it for weeks. Every time we're all together, I'm terrified someone's gonna notice I can't stop looking at you." I don't even remember standing up. I just remember my hands shaking when I said, "I've been in love with you since that night you quoted Radiohead back to me in the car." Silence. just rain. Her looking at me like I just answered some question she'd been asking forever. Then she said, "I don't know what to do." Me neither. We didn't kiss that night. We just stood there in the rain until we were completely soaked, holding hands like scared teenagers. Sandra came home the next day and everything went back to normal. Except Harper and I were now living this secret double life. Glances across rooms, accidental touches, 3 a.m. texts that just said, "Can't sleep thinking about you." It was torture. Beautiful, aching torture. 2 weeks later, Sandra threw Harper a birthday party at our favorite bar. Lots of shots, loud music, dancing. Sandra got drunk fast. Classic Sandra. At one point, she pulled me into this huge hug and yelled over the music, "I'm so lucky! Best girlfriend and best friend in the world!" I smiled. It felt like swallowing broken glass. Later, Harper and I ended up outside getting air when Sandra was inside murdering some Lizzo song at karaoke. Harper looked completely wrecked. She said, "I can't keep doing this, pretending. We have to tell her." She shook her head. "She'll hate us. She'll survive, but we won't if we keep lying." Thunder rumbled. Then the sky just opened up, one of those sudden summer storms. Everyone ran inside except us. We stood there getting absolutely drenched. Harper started crying, not pretty crying, like shoulders shaking, messy crying. I stepped forward and wiped the rain and tears off her face. She looked up at me and whispered, "I'm so sorry." Then she kissed me. Not soft, not careful, like she'd been holding her breath for months. My back hit the brick wall, her hands in my wet hair, my heart trying to climb out of my chest. We didn't hear the door open. We didn't hear Sandra until she said, "What the fuck?" We pulled apart, gasping, rain pouring down our faces. Sandra was standing there holding 2 umbrellas. She'd come out to find us. Her face went from confused to understanding to just hollow. She said, "How long?" Harper couldn't speak. I said, "Since Chicago. A few weeks." Sandra laughed, but it was sharp and bitter. "So, while I was gone, you just decided to take what's mine." Harper tried to say something. "I'm so sorry." "Don't," Sandra cut her off. Then she looked at me. "You were supposed to be my safe person." She dropped both umbrellas and walked away into the rain. Harper sank down the wall, crying. I just stood there feeling like the absolute worst person alive. We didn't talk for a month. Sandra blocked us everywhere. Mutual friends picked sides. Harper ended things with Sandra the next day. Sandra moved out a week later. I thought I'd lost them both forever. Then, 38 days later, yeah, I counted, I got a text from an unknown number. "It's Sandra. Can we talk? Just you and me?" We met at our old coffee shop. She looked thinner, but her eyes were clear. "I hated you both," she said, "but mostly I was mad at myself for not seeing it. Harper told me everything, how you both fought it for weeks. I believe you." She took a breath. "I loved her, but I think I loved the idea of her more than the real her. She deserves someone who's all in." I started crying. Sandra reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "I miss my best friend." We hugged and cried like complete idiots in the middle of the coffee shop. 3 months later, Harper and I are together. No hiding, no guilt. Sandra's dating this sweet girl named Danny, who makes her laugh louder than I've ever heard. And every Thursday, the 3 of us still have movie night. It's awkward sometimes, not gonna lie, but it's ours. The night Harper and I moved in together, Sandra helped us carry boxes. When we finished, we sat on the floor eating pizza straight from the box. Sandra raised her slice like a toast. To love being messy and complicated and somehow still working out. We clinked pizza slices and laughed until we cried. That's how I fell in love with my best friend's girlfriend, and how, against literally all odds, I got to keep them both, just in different ways. Love isn't always clean. Sometimes it's rain-soaked and heartbreaking and terrifying, but when it's real and you're brave enough to choose it, it can rewrite everything. If this ever happens to you, choose honesty. It hurts like hell, but it heals cleaner. So, that's my story. Messy, painful, but somehow it worked out. Before you go, if this resonated with you at all, do me a favor and hit that like button. Seriously, it helps more than you know. And if you've got your own complicated love story, drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and sometimes I reply at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep. If you want more stories like this, WLL drama, complicated feelings, and hopefully some happy endings, hit subscribe. I post every week, and I promise it's never boring. Also, quick question for you. Have you ever been in love with someone you absolutely shouldn't have been? And if you were in my position, would you have told Sandra sooner or kept it secret longer? Let me know what you think, because I'm still not sure I handled it right. All right, that's it. Thanks for sticking with me through this whole mess. I'll see you in the next one.